Amazing fight here. So we got Raoni Barcelos versus Timur Valiev. So yeah, I think this is the main event in my eyes. I don't care what the card says. I have no idea where it's on the prelims, but this is the main event, in my opinion. So break down the striking of these guys. Both these guys very good strikers. For Barcelos, he's very light in his feet. Both these guys are very light in their feet. Both these guys have great movement. Barcelos likes to be on the front foot a little bit more than Timur does. I think he has more of a need to be on the front foot. He seems like he'd be able to take the front foot advantage, or just take the front foot against Timur Valiev, if someone was to be pressing the action in this fight. Because Barcelos, he's not afraid of the takedown. He's very competent off his back. He's very comfortable in his guard, and he has great get-ups, so he's not too afraid of getting taken down. Whereas Timur, he doesn't have that same safety net to rely on. But Barcelos, he uses his feints to disguise his his striking entries plus his takedown entries. But I'm talking about the striking for now. And then he's in range, throws a combination. He's back out at range, uses his good footwork again. He has very good distance control. Both these guys do, I must say that. For Barcelos in the pocket, where he likes to fight quite a bit, he's very comfortable there. He's got good head movement, good vision in the pocket. He'll go for a bolo uppercut to break the opponent's guard if they're using quite a high boxing guard. He's just very fluid, he's very comfortable in the pocket, picks his shots very nicely. Also good timing on the flying knee. As I said, he can afford to do that with the safety net that he has off his back. And at range, he's gone for the blitz 1-2, the low calf kick. He'll double up on the jab if it's landing, he'll double up on the right hand if it's landing. The guy just makes reads very quickly. Also looks to catch a kick, go for an overhand right, or he'll work a takedown from there. He does have a tendency of going 1-for-1 with his opponents. He'll throw his combination, he'll wait for the opponent to throw their combination, and then, back and forth like that. And that's just a sparring habit. I guess he seems like he does a lot of sparring. But, it's ways that you can lose a fight, potentially. And Timur Valiev, he's very good at controlling the pace. He may not give you the opportunity to come back with your own combination, because he's very good at controlling the pace and who's dictating the fight. For Timur Valiev, everything's setting up the next strike. Everything is precise. He throws a lot of feints. He gives you a lot of different looks, and he's actually trying to make reads with these feints. He's not just throwing them out there just to make you think about something. He's trying to see how you're going to react, and then he's going to make the read for his next strike. And he's very fluid as well. He's got a very kick-heavy game. He's got very dexterous hips. His kicks are just effortless, no wasted movement in his kicks, really nice technique on the kicks. And he does have a nice bit of snap behind him as well. He likes the body kick versus southpaws, so Barcelos, he switches stance occasionally, generally in orthodox though. Likes to set up the low calf kick with another non-committal low calf kick, like an inside low kick or a side kick to the lead leg, and then he'll, set up the outside low calf kick that way, does Timur. And he has, a nice body kick in general, even the switch body kick when he's versing orthodox fighters. But he can be caught in range after throwing a naked kick or something like that, because he does, as I said before, mostly throwing kicks. Doesn't use his hands too much, so he will be caught in range a few times. He will get caught in boxing range with other good strikers, like Barcelos is probably going to catch him in boxing range quite a fair bit in this fight. But yeah, but Valiev does need to watch out for that. Can't be throwing those naked kicks in boxing range. He's got to set them up or use his boxing to get out of boxing range. But yeah, or just cover up and then get back at kickboxing range. But he's also open for takedowns when he is throwing these flashy techniques like the jumping switch kick or a spinning back kick or whatever. We've seen Barcelos, he's very good at timing these techniques and taking opponents down or getting in, favourable grappling positions after a scramble, after, kind of altering a kick, like we saw in the Said Nurmagomedov fight. He timed a spinning back kick off Said perfectly and took the back, and I think Matt returned him from there and I think took his back after that. But the guy's he's got very good reactions to what his opponent's doing, and he has very nice reactive takedowns. And in general, Barcelos, he has very good wrestling, and most of his takedowns are in the open, very good, very well timed. He will set up his takedowns if he does wrestle proactively. So he has a very nice wrestling game, in my opinion. And when he does get you down, he looks to advance position immediately. He looks to stack the opponent, sweep them, land damage. He's got very good wrist control on top, and then he'll, try and get 2-on-1 and then ground and pound the opponent with the free arm. Also very quick to take the back if the opponent turns to get back to their feet. So Timur does need to watch out for that. Timur has a bit of offensive wrestling as well. Obviously, growing up in Dagestan, he's going to have a bit. He likes to catch a kick and look to ground the opponent, look for body lock, and then go for mat returns from there. He's got very nice takedowns as well. When Valiev gets on top, he's mostly looking for control. He's not as aggressive as Barcelos with his grappling. He looks to get one hook in, push the opponent against the fence, and just kind of control him from there. That's what Khabib and a lot of other Dagestani fighters do. They're just very good at using the cage. It must be something with Sambo and how, I have no idea. I don't know too much about Sambo, but they're all very good at using the cage for their takedowns and their control when they're controlling opponents. So it's going to be something there. How these guys win fights. So for Valiev, he's got good cardio, he pushes a fast pace, he's got good pace and footwork. They do slow a little bit in the third round in high-paced competitive fights. And his style is very energy draining. I wouldn't be surprised if he slows first in this one. But for Barcelos, he's got good cardio, good movement as well. He can hold that movement, that power for 25 minutes, in my opinion. And he's a legit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Great transitions on top, good top control, great submissions, good takedown defense when he's defending takedowns, when people do try and take him down for some reason. Killer instinct, good shin, good striking defense at distance. He can get sucked into a brawl. That's maybe one of the knocks on him. But other than that, he has very good fight IQ. Makes reads quickly on the feet. The only thing is that he just loves a brawl too much, and that can get him in trouble, I guess. But yeah, how these guys lose fights. So for both, I'm kind of nitpicking. Both are very good. But it's the striking tendencies for both, and I've already mentioned those before, but for Barcelos, it's going 1-for-1 with the opponent, also getting into a brawl, just making the fight closer than it needs to be, really. And for Timur Valiev, I forgot what it was, but I think it was just overreaching and maybe getting taken down, I believe that was, yeah. Path to victory for these two. For Valiev, give him a lot of different looks. Look to feint quite a bit to put him on the back foot. Look for the low calf kick as well. Check his low calf kicks when they're coming back at you, and just be very active. Put lots of numbers out, put lots of volume out, and just try and outwork him. For Barcelos, try and get him on the back foot. When you put Valiev on the back foot, he just kind of backs up when the opponent does blitz him. So yeah, look for that blitz 2-3. Also slip 2-3. His lead hand will drop after he pops the jab, so watch out for that. Try and get in boxing range. That's just where you want to be against a guy who kicks as much as Timur. But also, when he throws his, kind of slapping leg kicks, I think his leg kicks are more slapping in my opinion, not too much oomph behind him, you know what I mean? With a really hard low calf kick. And I think you should use low calf kicks as a game plan, or as a big part of your game plan. It stops him throwing his kicks because he has to check them or he has to worry about checking them. But also, the accumulated damage will make it harder for him to use his footwork and move around on it. So I think low calf kicks as a game plan would be very good here. Also look to catch a kick and fire an overhand or just take him down. Look for takedowns off a flashy technique. When he's off balance after throwing one of his flashy techniques or a spinning kick or whatever, look to take him down. Or, yeah, just as you did in the Nurmagomedov fight. So, yeah, how I see the fight playing out. So, great fucking fight. Straight off the bat, great fight. I think the UFC is probably trying to figure out which one of these older guys they should push. Because these guys probably deserve a better, or maybe Barcelos definitely deserves a better opportunity here instead of another kind of semi-prospect in Valiev. So I think Barcelos definitely deserved a ranked opponent, but it is what it is, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think the smaller octagon heavily favours Barcelos with his pressure-heavy style, and it limits the area that Valiev can utilise his footwork. I feel like the Nurmagomedov-Barcelos fight, if it wasn't a smaller octagon, it wouldn't have been competitive at all. I think he would have walked him down and landed his combinations. Also, takedowns were going to be on as well. I think that's the closest simulation you'll get to this fight, but also feel like Timur will throw something stupid as well and get taken down and controlled on the mat. Same with Saeed did in the third round in Busan, South Korea. But yeah, Raoni was a little tentative in that fight, but his fight IQ and his timing on the takedowns made the difference at the end of the day. And Timur leaves more openings than Saeed on the feet. in my opinion, and he leaves more openings for the takedowns on the, just in general. So I do believe he'll have more success than he did in the Nurmagomedov fight. But, Timur is very good at controlling the pace and taking the front foot, but I just don't see him convincing Barcelos to take the back foot. If Timur starts to back up, I believe the movement and the range control of Barcelos will make it hard for Timur to ever get going in this fight, and I don't think he's going to be able to get a rhythm with the pace that Barcelos throws. He's not going to get used to being on the back foot, and he's not that type of guy that likes to be fighting off the back foot as well. Even if it is a chess match on the feet, like it was in the Nurmagomedov fight, the Said Nurmagomedov fight, where they're going just technique for technique, I see Barcelos landing the better shots and just timing his counters really nicely against a guy with a lot of openings like Valiev. Plus, Timur throws a lot of naked kicks, and I think Raoni's going to look to counter those, and he's going to have a lot of success doing so. In the grappling, I believe Barcelos is the much better grappler, better wrestling, better top game, better bottom game, better scrambles, better everywhere in the grappling realm, in my opinion. Even if Timur does get in top position, I believe Raoni will be able to threaten with offense, and will be able to get back to his feet in no time, even if he does get taken down. On the other hand, if Barcelos gets Valiev down, I believe that he will be able to stay afloat on top of Valiev and just kind of win the scrambles there, and maybe even potentially find a submission in the scrambles. I just think Valiev is going to have a hard time winning anywhere, really, in this fight. I think Barcelos kind of imposes his will and game plan on Valiev, as he's done countless times in the past, and Barcelos has better cardio too. I think he wins the third round pretty much every time these two fight. And honestly, I think Barcelos is champ material. I've been high on him even before he joined the UFC. I just thought the guy was an incredible grappler, and his striking has just come miles as well. And he's just so comfortable in a fight. He's just a beast, man. And he's ironed out basically any kinks in his game in that time period since he's joined the UFC. And honestly, I favour him over a lot of top fighters in the bantamweight division. And I don't think lowly of Timur Valiev at all. I think he's very good. I just hold Barcelos in such high regard. And if Barcelos doesn't get a push here, or if he doesn't get a ranked opponent after this, I'll be absolutely livid. Because he's a very entertaining fighter who is also just very skilled in every core facet of MMA as well. And if it'd just be disgusting if he doesn't get a push after this. But yeah, we'll go to the betting lines. Let's have a look. Prediction is Barcelos by TKO. I think he wins around 75% of the time. And yeah, so I think the line, there's a bit of value on it. But yeah, we're using fightodds.io, I believe it's called, just because it's hashtag fuck best fight odds season. Because they just sold out completely. Just put some random books in the they took Bet Online off, which was the one you look at mostly, because they come out with odds first. And they just totally ruined their website. But it is what it is. We use this one now, and it shifts from time to time, which is kind of annoying. And if anyone knows how to fix that, then that would be greatly appreciated. You put that in the comments, please. But yeah, so right now, Barcelos, quite a sizable favourite, and as he should be in my opinion. I'm going to bet Barcelos. Pretty sizable bet size as well. I have complete faith in the guy. He's going to fight for your money, and he's going to come in with a good game plan. So, I do believe he's the better fighter here. Just if he just gets outworked, that's the only way I can see him losing, maybe a split decision. But I do believe he wins a good chunk of the time. So Barcelos, anything above minus 240 or $1.42, I'm going to be betting. Hoping the line goes up a bit. Doesn't look like it's going to. Might just have to bet him now before the line gets too steamed. But yeah, the guy's incredible fighter, and I have a lot of faith in him, so I'm going to be betting him at quite reasonable size, maybe 3 to 4 units. But I have complete faith in this guy.